Aloha, welcome to Flow Dynamics. And since I've concluded my first round of energy centers, I now want to go into something which I think is even more important than to concern ourselves with every given center. Of course, it's important to hold the balance, to understand their functioning, to integrate all the implications or transcend the constructs that would prohibit us from really the realization that we are this energy field and body, our perception, our energy centers. But anyway, in this video, I wanted to talk about the action of the inner senses again, maybe to clarify a bit more and to really highlight the importance. So, first of all, when I speak of inner senses, they are sometimes understood as um, extra sensory or sixth sense or bright senses. It's basically everything in terms of sensorical perception that we have or that is debated of us really being able to to be aware of such matters, and which isn't physical. So but I want to state that the Elias material, of the way I understand it, is that we merely have three senses and that these are very universal when it comes to all areas of consciousness. And in this physical dimension, they are designated as well um, physically as our five physical senses. But really, we may use them in all manners, and whatever we may imagine of perceiving or sensing for is really there for us to connect to with these senses, and they also connect with each other. So let me state that there are these three senses, which are the sense of empathy, which is really to connect to any being of consciousness, to any focus of consciousness, physical or not, to any aspect, and to feel or live or to be really in its shoes, in its position, to share with it a sense of self or even identity for the moment of connecting. So with that we may connect with a tree, with the molecules of our air, or some ants, with our own body, with other human beings, and so on. There are really no limitations, and we may even connect to collective energies or global movements, anything that we may conceptualize. Which brings me to my next point. It is the inner sense of conceptualization, and with that we basically connect to whatever, but we are able to somehow conceptualize for the moment what it actually is to our understanding or our perception that we are dealing with. So when, let's say, I am dealing with a rose quartz, I can conceptualize the molecule structure or the subatomic movements or the energetic function as it absorbs unwanted energy and releases it in the sun. Or I may conceptualize the movements of, let's say, liquids in this tree or in my hand, or light through my eyes. So with that we really grasp for something. It's really the action of making something graspable, you know. It's not like we can take in the whole ocean at once. You have to use, in a manner of speaking, this is a limited metaphor, we have to use a certain kind of net. We have to be specific in what we are feeling for, or just feel for what we may take in at a given moment and what kind of information comes back. But it always comes with a certain kind of concept. So, in a manner of speaking, everything that is abstract in this physical dimension, to us, we move through by this inner sense. Or we may say, okay, this outline this outline gives me the form of a human body, or just this is a stone and this is I don't know, moss plant or a cone or whatever, you know. We we are putting something into concept. But of course, this is all just a limited understanding or intro, and we all have our own perception and reality or experience with these senses. And the third sense is the sense of differential time. And as you may know, we are always present now, or we focus our attention always in the now, even if we project to the future or to the past. But with this sense of differential time, we may take steps backwards or sidewards, even forwards, within a chosen process with a specific time resolution or whatever. So when you actually connect with your inner senses to whatever and you focus, then usually time seems to slow down or stand still, or it seems to change. It's this perception of time, but also we, as time is configured in this physical dimension if in a specific way to be linear to our perception, to create the succession of moments, we also connect with that process or that flow of time directly. So that that may affect quite a bit. But again, it's important for me to state here that all these three senses make up also the physical ones, and they make up any, well, creation of reality, really any aspect of action, you know. It's really inseparable from other truths like tone or color or consciousness or reality itself. And the physical senses are made up of these. So when we use our physical senses and we are aware that we can at any given point expand, explore, or play with our inner senses as well, we may combine them in a different way, as in you may conceptualize not only the surface of the leaves of a plant that we may view, but also, for instance, its energy field or its energetic communications to another plant, which are, of course, all inseparable to the plant as a being, or as what we understand as a being. Or we may use this inner sense of differential time to slow down within this moment of really breathing in and smelling what the current expression of scent in the air is, or what maybe the signature scent of the plant is, when we connect very intimately with our empathic sense to it. And you know, you are not merely smelling what is in front of your nose, you can also smell something which is anywhere. And this is what I want to tell you. These senses, they are not limited. Our perception is not limited to where our body seems to be outlined, or what surfaces meet the eye, or what sounds are directly how do I say, registered in our ears. We can always expand, and we have to be intentional, because it's our choice, freedom, and responsibility to choose where we expand with these senses and where our attention is in any given moment. So that may tell you, when you actually evaluate and you just ask yourself the simple question gently, what am I doing now? Where is my attention? Or maybe how am I configuring it, or these inner senses? We are often basically occupied with constructs, beliefs, opinions of past experiences, which may, of course, if we allow it, influence our current now. But actually, there is no reason to not just allow more of a clear perception of what actually is and what is happening and what we are doing every moment anew. There, there is not necessarily a succession in the truest terms of moments or of actions in terms of cause and effect or any kind of solidity. So in every moment there's actually a fresh set, or not just set, but a fresh universe or reality that we may perceive with our senses. And of course, we are directing the scope, the direction, the resolution, like any aspect of our perception in any moment. So I really want to encourage all of us to be mindful of what we're doing, and of course be playful with where we are taking this. It is unlocking everything in terms of our abilities of reality creation, how enjoyable we allow life to be, and how, well, innocent or uninfluenced we also allow every moment and us to be, and, well, to become. That being said, I know these have been quite a few words, but let's just play with this and notice, acknowledge, recognize, accept, and so on. Imagine with love and be nurturing to yourself, of course. I am Sila. Aloha.